Disorder!
Oh, hey, Alice. How's it going? Welcome back to the Mad Tea Party. You walked in at a good time. We got Honey Dagger in the building.
What's up?
Hey.
We got Austin.
Hey.
We got Lou. We got Scott. We got Gabe.
Who's that?
This fucking guy.
We got Kris Jackson from Moonlight Grounds. And we got Cordie Nicole shooting Violet as well. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah, good talk. So when you guys want to hang out again?
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. So your album Honey is available everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your album Dagger coming later this year, fall this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very excited.
Very exciting. Yeah, I was really digging your music. I was listening to it before you guys got over here, and it's really I was getting stoned, and it was the perfect music for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just vibing.
It's pretty much what we did doing it.
Yeah. There's, I've noticed there's definitely a touch of Modest Mouse in there that I really like, but a lot
nice.
more to it too.
Yeah, that might be me a little bit.
I am Modest Mouse.
Yeah, I
And
thought
I'm
that was
Modest
right.
Mouse is not bad, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're talking about getting stoned and doing it. I was like, yeah, I definitely felt some of that, but I felt there was a lot more to it. I was very impressed by you guys.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
Really
Thank
happy
you.
to listen to it, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Earlier Austin said Pink Floyd, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Heavy.
those were the two bands I was listening to.
That's what I was
like
talking
during that time period a lot.
Yeah, that
That's
makes
good
sense.
So what was did all of you grow up with music in your childhoods? A lot of
For
music
sure.
in the house, or
I mean, just like on the car radio, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like a thing in my life. I don't think till like high school. It was kind of when I started to, find my own path in music, I guess.
okay?
So, where did the band name come from?
I
This
have
guy.
a huge list of band names on my phone, ideas.
Oh, don't know. Probably in the ballpark of 100 at this point. It's not like, I don't know. I just keep them in the pocket, for whatever. And I said Dagger Honey, and they were like, "What about Honey Dagger?" And I was like, "Whoa, you guys are fucking so."
It was really, it was really like Scott though, because like he heard it and he was like, "That's it."
I was
And
these earlier, and I didn't know if it was like maybe like that look when somebody looks at you, like eyes like daggers, but like it's like a sweet look, like it's alluring.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I could kill you.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's been many a meanings
That's-
attributed to the name at this point.
That's what
what
we're
we're
trying to
trying to
figure out.
Yeah.
That's a
what
better
you should tell
story.
people. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Taking
Yeah,
notes.
it's like that look in your eyes when it's like stabs through you, but it's sweet like honey.
I mean, we'll tell people that one time and then there'll be something else the next
Yeah,
time.
I like that. So the
Keep
people are like
changing it.
arguing, just starting fights amongst your fans.
Yeah,
I do.
Then we'll have camps and they'll feud, and then we can
that's good.
sell merch accordingly.
We're
that's
trying to
both
start a
sides.
civil war eventually. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
and gold stuff.
Yeah.
Honey,
Think of the bigger
Camp
picture.
Honey, Camp Dagger.
Exactly.
But they'll always get more of both at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we'll keep them all
Damn.
happy.
You catch more honeys being fly, but you kill more of your enemies with daggers.
It's very
That's all I
there
gotta
you go.
say.
What type of person are you?
Exactly.
It's kind of like a personality test.
So are all of you guys from here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all went to the same high school.
Oh shit, that's cool.
We didn't all hang out in high school, but we all went to the same high school.
Paths crossed. many
Yeah,
a time.
Summit and
Yeah.
Spring Hill. But yeah, I grew up in Spring Hill
Okay.
pretty
Mhm.
much.
We were all involved in
Most of us
like
did.
the musical side of high school, you know, like choir and band and
Yeah.
Yeah, they
theater
were
and all
choir
that.
kids.
That's how I met
me and
Gabe.
Austin were in the
Best
band.
buds
Mhm.
in choir.
Yeah.
And then me and Gabe have been playing in bands together since we were like, I was like 15.
You were 15, I
probably
was
like
16. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
driving us to Taco Bell before practice every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. High school sweethearts.
Yeah.
What did y'all
pretty
play in band?
much.
Good question.
So I played in concert band in middle school, and I think 1 year in high school I played saxophone,
Hell
but
yeah.
I actually played bass guitar in the marching band.
Okay,
Nice.
nice.
Yeah,
Were you in the pit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mosh
short
pit.
bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
School band mosh pit.
Yes.
I was in the drum line. I started my
Nice.
first year as a sophomore on I think I was like third or fourth base, and then after that I moved to quads.
Oh, yeah.
drums.
I played the tuba.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Tuba
Nice.
thing. Yeah. So I know what the pit is.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. Hell yeah. I was always jealous of the drumline, man. I saw
Same,
the movie
yeah.
Drumline, and I was
Yeah.
like, God damn it. Now they did give some props to tuba players, but you know, still,
Yeah.
Drumline was always so fucking cool.
Yeah, I would
It was like
see
honorary drum line.
I would see
Yeah.
Austin like
Honorary
practicing
drum
every
line.
day and then just be like so jealous. and
Yeah.
Just be like, dude, he's so fast. Like, how the fuck are they doing that shit?
I was way faster back then. I had some real chops in those days.
Yeah.
I feel that. for
Honestly,
sure.
yeah, drumline was some great times for
Fucking
sure.
rad, dude. Saxophone's fucking dope too. I always wanted to
Yeah.
play saxophone. I couldn't get
Same.
on reed instruments, man.
It's never too late.
Yeah, I was never like
Yeah.
super
Hey, you're
great
right.
at it.
And I'm saying
but-
you're right. I could do it.
Get back on it.
Mm.
What are you doing right now? Who's got a
This
saxophone?
stupid fucking podcast. Go get a fucking saxophone.
Dude.
You might be president.
It's not a bad idea. I have thought about it at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe pick it up. Did you say you did anything in band, Gabe?
No, I was in choir and
Okay.
Yeah.
some theater productions, but
Nice.
Me
So
too.
they sing, we just keep the rhythm.
yeah. So I really wanted to be in band in middle school, and then I told Luke that like halfway through high school, he's like, "Shut the fuck up, you don't."
That's hilarious.
I don't remember that at all.
I mean, I don't remember like
He's
if
like,
that,
"You don't want this
he's like,
life,
you don't,
bro."
you don't do this. You don't want no part of this doing.
Oh, that's funny. I did some choir. I feel like choir, theater, band, you know, in the same family. We're all
Yeah.
labeled as the same
Yeah.
kind of outcasts.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Those weird
Right,
kids
yeah,
in that
sure.
weird hallway.
Yeah,
That
It's
is
true, the art hallway,
Yeah.
we just kind of shared that misery,
Yep.
that lack of space that they just.
But we were
threw
all in
onto
it
the
together.
end.
and that
Yeah.
was-
Lack
that
of
was the
funding.
best
like,
Yeah.
In our own ways, we were all there together.
Yeah.
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Except you're all nerds.
It was so funny, like,
Which one's the jock?
yeah.
Just kidding. You're all jocks in my eyes.
Hell
You're all
Thank
chats.
you.
I feel like
All
you-
chat.
We all got our own
Yeah.
chat.
No, I don't know if I
Stacy's.
want that.
That's not crazy.
It comes
Chad's
down.
a little too far.
But
Who's
Luke,
the most
you're
athletic
sexy.
of us? We skateboarded. That seems pretty athletic.
Didn't you do a little bit of like running or something?
I did some track.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I skipped out on a track practice to go what's the word? Try out for the the oh my god, I'm blanking. Can't think of words.
They're hard.
What do you do?
The thing where you the talent show. That's
Oh.
it. I skipped out on
Skip
track to
talent
go
show?
to try out for the talent show, and my coach got pissed, and I was like, "Sucks, because I'm in the talent show." Whatever.
Yeah.
Did you get in?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
He was mad that you
Yeah.
didn't
That'd been
have
sad if you didn't.
I
know.
Just played guitar for my ex. I'll sing a song, and yeah, that was it.
So, in any particular order, do you guys have any ghost stories?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have like a specific story. I'm pretty confident there's a spirit currently living in my house, but
Currently, damn. All right.
oh yeah, he just hangs
Look.
out.
What makes you think that?
He's
You
kind
know,
of a dick. you know.
strange noises, vibes, 3 a.m. hours where I just am filled with sheer terror for absolutely no reason.
That's pretty
And my cats, there's just a lot of cats in my house right now, and They all seem like they see things that I can't see.
Are you doing anything specific when you get that feeling, or is this like different situations, or
No, nothing specific.
okay?
3 a.m.
Like, are
is
you
like
always
the hour. for
are you
that
always
little-
asleep when it
That's right.
happens, or are you awake usually, or
Oh no,
Mix-
awake
okay?
for sure.
I have a pretty like strange one that I've never been able to like piece together in my head. Whenever I was in middle school, I think me and my dirty skater rat friends were in my kitchen. Don't remember what time it was. I think it was like either late afternoon or like 10 p.m. ish. I really have not a hugely great recollection, but we were in the kitchen and then a fucking ladle like flew out of the pot that it was in and like across the kitchen, and we all sat there like, what was that? And then ran upstairs.
Holy shit.
So that like, you know,
It was in a pot.
it was in like a
And you
the
said
thing-
it was you and
me and my brother and one or two of my good friends, and the one that I specifically know was there. We talk about it still whenever we
Damn.
get together.
Did
We're
did
like,
all of you see it?
yeah, we all just
Whoa.
heard it fly across the counter across the kitchen. We're like,
No explanation.
what the fuck, with no explanation.
Just-
I mean,
That's
we were like
crazy.
12, so we didn't like go in and try to debunk everything. Like, what if the gust of wind, blah blah, you know. But
Start dusting for
we were just
fingerprints.
like, that was strange, and ran. We were so scared.
Scott, you have one?
I see, like I thought I did for like years, right? Because one night, like when I lived in Arizona, I was like 13, and a friend of mine and I had like just gone to see a movie, and we were like chilling in his room, about to go to bed, you know, just like eating pizza, being 13-year-olds. And then suddenly he like stands up and starts like staring at the corner of the room, and he's like, "Scott, do you see that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "That thing in the corner, like, do you see that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, I don't. And he was like, "Dude," and then he starts like shaking. He's like, "Dude, I can't help but see this like thing in the corner right now."
He
Like,
seemed genuinely. He wasn't. Like,
he was like startled, like
Whoa.
pale. And I was like, "Bro, I don't know what's going on." Like, I'm holding this guy, and like we
Whoa.
do not, like, bros, like we did not do that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dude, it's gonna be all right." And like we talked about it the next morning, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really know what I saw." Like, we eventually got to sleep, and he was like, I had this weird dream about this old guy, like, and he put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, "Tell her everything." And then he woke up.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
as shit.
So I'm like 13 eating like Apple Jacks. I'm like, like that's crazy, man. Like, and so we thought, like, I brought it up years later. Like, I moved away, and I was like, "Hey man," like hit him up a couple years ago. I was like, "You remember that time where you like saw that thing in the corner?" He's like, "Yeah, I was just fucking with you."
Wow.
Yeah.
What did it happen though?
He just
Yeah.
wanted to-
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
So I thought I
Unless he
did.
was fucking with you
What
then.
an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You never know.
I thought the
Teenagers.
plot twist was gonna be he like has schizophrenia. or
I
something.
yeah,
No.
like,
Yeah.
That was like the breaking
No, we
moment,
were-
and you were just there for it.
we were at that age where like we want to be like actors, and we just took jokes way too
Yeah.
far. And I don't know. Like, I was like, did I fall for something or what? But yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Said at that age, but I feel
Yeah, it was a
like-
roller coaster, man. Yeah.
I've never
So like
had
for
still
years
take-
I
I still
thought
just
that
take
was
tips
real,
way
and
too
I
far.
told people
Like
Man,
making
I'm
you
a
question
fucking
your
idiot.
reality.
Yeah,
Like, maybe
got
he
gas
was.
hard.
yeah. Some fuck shit.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's my that's what I
Holy
thought was an
shit.
encounter.
Yeah.
But nothing, yeah, no ladles or nothing.
Austin?
Yeah, I haven't had anything that I can like definitively say has no explanation. That's just I've always been kind of skeptical too. So like
Mhm.
I don't know. I've never had anything I can't explain. The grate on your room is weird.
Oh yeah. So like also with the
That's what we
spirit
were-
in my house, which still to this day I'm waiting for someone to like explain it to
on
me.
my
but-
life, I did not move that thing.
So when I first moved into this house, he also lived with me. But like we had just moved, and there's like a vent with like a grate over it, as vents do, on the floor right next to where my bed is. And this was probably like the second or third day like we were there, and like no one had been there. And I just like no one was in my room, and I just like came home and like went to my room, and the grate was just like out and like in the middle of my room.
Ugh.
And I have no idea why or how, or like no creature big enough to be able to move it could have gone in that vent.
Maybe a really big rat. Like I don't know.
I mean, I guess
Really
maybe
big,
if he
really
was just
big
like,
rat.
yeah, pumping iron down the basement.
He was like,
But,
getting in this room.
but yeah, so I still don't know like how it happened. Like another day later, I walked in my room and the grate was moved again, and I like
That was me.
totally
That was
started to
me.
flip my shit.
I
But
was
yeah,
fucking
it
with
just
him.
ended up being him that time. But yeah, that first one, I still have no idea.
Yeah, I have no explanation for that, but I just can't like make the leap to like a spirit did it. I guess So I don't know.
Where does the grate like lead to? Is it like straight into like an air duct system, or
Somewhere
is
in
it
the
like
basement,
where
probably.
somewhere you could like keep things and like retrieve them?
It leads to the goblin hole.
Like
That's where the goblins.
I'm not
and they
trying to
push the
dispel
grate
the
out when it's
ghost, but I
time
am
to
trying
leave.
to think of like a logical explanation here
Yeah,
that might scare you more.
No, trust me. I've like like we've had this other thing with like there's like an attic door in our upstairs, because there's like the upstairs is its own thing, but there's like attic doors on the side that lead to
Everywhere.
attic space, and like those have just like been open before, and so
Those will swing open by themselves. though.
Like,
I've-
what if somebody was like staying in your house and
I've
there was like a prior tenant and they had like some drugs or something stored in there and they were like, I'm coming to get my shit.
maybe very possible. I've also just wondered if there's some like gremlin living in my attic that like hides
That,
away
like,
during the
Gizmo?
day, and then but
Like Gizmo. Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of grim.
I have no idea, but I mean, I've been there for like almost 2 years now, and I mean, no harm has come upon me. I haven't woken up in the middle of the night with scratches on me or anything like
Have a knife
weird
in
like
your
that.
knee.
So, like, if there is a ghost there, we're chill.
We're chill.
How long do you say you've been there?
You know.
It's the neighbors.
Okay.
What?
Oh, that.
I had
We're
a
getting
lot of-
spooked in here.
I had a lot of ghosty stuff as a kid. Like I would just see little things like me and my brothers would. But you know, that's like children. They do things, they see things. I don't know.
Do they? I've
If
never
any of it
seen
is
like
sub-
some shit like a
oh.
ghost.
I don't know if any of it's substantial, but I remember seeing like, you know, misty type things like go through
Whoa.
walls and stuff. Like
Yeah, I feel like I saw like orbs when I was like a small child and stuff, but I don't know if that was just me like convincing myself that like I was having a spooky moment or
yeah.
not.
I have this like faint memory of like seeing like a full like man like not full, like it was like partial like head to like chest, and I'm pretty sure it was my uncle, if like I remember him correctly, but like he died when I was really little, so I was like, it looks like the soldier from the movie Spirit, like the bad guy that's like chasing the horse or whatever. And I told my mom that, and then I remembered one day just randomly like that's what my uncle Lamar looked like whenever he passed away, and it's like, whoa, was that? And my brother thinks he saw our cousin that passed away before we were born, and like I don't know, like we just have a lot of
Spooky
stories,
stuff.
yeah. Like I have a pretty tragic side of the family on my mom's side, so like we think they visit us, but who knows, maybe it's our brains tricking us. But
That's why I tend to think about this stuff so much, is no one knows.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a lot we don't know. Like we're all
True.
just the truth is we're all just scared children on this rock
Right.
trying to figure shit out.
For sure.
And being an adult is,
Yeah.
I think being an adult is kind of pretending that's not the case, and everyone's lying to each other like
Mhm.
I know what's going on. I have
No one has
But
any
no one
idea
has
what's
any
going on.
idea.
At some level,
Yeah.
the whole enterprise of society is everyone participating in a shared lie that like works
Yeah.
for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a noble lie.
That's what society is. Yeah.
Right. Like I was trying to tell this to my mom the other day. Like, how do you think that the first like chief of like a large clan was like able to organize the people? He used religion. He said, okay, follow me and do what I say. And the guys are like, well, why? And he said, well, because God put me here, motherfucker. And they do. And
Yeah.
they're like, all right, I got you.
The
Yeah.
Sky Man.
The Sky Man put me here, dude.
The big boom boom.
Yeah.
Big boom boom.
Yeah.
The thunder, you know that thing in the sky? That
Yeah.
dude, I'm here.
Yeah,
for
him.
that.
So for even
Sky
all
Daddy,
the
shut up.
evils and like the deaths that religion has caused and the killings in the names of religion,
Killing in
we
the
still
name.
we still wouldn't have ever been here, I don't think, without it. Because
Yeah.
we wouldn't have been able to organize around that like
Oh,
chief
sure.
in that
Yeah.
way.
Very true.
Truth. Yeah. As I mean, yeah.
Religion was the first form of government. It really was.
Mhm.
That's, I mean, it validated the guy at the top, right? Like, how do you have
Actually, yeah.
authority?
Actually, I think it's more like government is the second form of religion.
Yeah. Like,
It's just religion without the fairy tale aspects. It's like you put faith in it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
you can
the
learn.
post-enlightenment idea, right? Is like utilitarianism is okay. Well, God's dead, so put your faith in the state. You know, the state is the top, and so you get fascism and like totalitarian communism.
and you can a
stuff.
little more blatantly make it up as you go.
Yeah, I mean, what you say goes, right? If you're above the law like that.
You could argue that violence was the first form of government.
True.
Interesting.
Cavemen.
Actually-
yeah, really.
Yeah.
There's a great movie about that actually. Have you seen 2001?
Yeah.
That's how.
I haven't seen anything.
That's
Yeah,
so,
dude, I
I
was
It's
feel
funny.
that. I feel that.
Oh,
It's funny you
I'm
say
laughing.
that because in that movie, it's a bunch of monkeys and they're like
The
there's two.
monolith or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
the
there's like a
monolith just
tri-
pops up.
Yeah.
There's two tribes of monkeys and they're like at war with each other and it's like this conflict has been going on
Yeah.
and then the monolith appears and one of these monkeys touches it and then the next day he like learns how to use simple tools. He picks up
Yeah.
a bone and he like understands weapon now and he kills one of the other monkeys and all the monkeys are like, what the fuck?
He just used a
I wanna see
weapon.
that.
And then the war's
Yeah,
over.
It's
Yeah.
So you're right. That is the first.
I know, I'm always right.
That is the first government
That was the first military technology was a bone.
stick.
Yeah, big stick.
stick and fucking stab somebody.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it's basically just the story of Cain and Abel too. Probably
Yeah.
countless other myths and other,
Mm.
you know, cultures.
What do you guys think about extraterrestrial contact? Do you think
Okay.
aliens from outer space?
Okay, let's get serious.
Let probe.
Ready.
Let me probe you about let probe.
Yeah. Probe you about the probes. Yes. Let me probe your mind about alien probes.
I am highly fascinated by the alien phenomenon, I guess.
Let's
you'd
go.
say.
Yeah.
I always have been, even when I was like a young child. I was just like on Google, just like looking up like UFOs, like
Mhm.
watching shitty fake documentaries. But me personally, I think aliens definitely exist. I think they came here, very well could still be here.
There,
Yeah.
you could say
There's
there are
aliens in this
room,
band.
I-
in
Okay.
this band.
We
I would even go as far as say like I wouldn't be surprised if they have like direct contact with some form of like our governments or whatnot.
first alien president.
But I
I think
definitely
this is Joe Biden.
That happened
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely think that they're like watching us though, at least.
Yeah.
Or they made us.
I am.
Do you think they're entertained
I'm
or
also
bored?
deep in the rabbit hole of aliens. Do you
think
think
that
like
we could
Pablo's
be
are?
aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
I think
very
aliens are
compelling.
Probably pissed
I-
at us.
I actually just listened to the last podcast on the left.
Yeah.
I
Greg
just
Love's
listened to their
huge.
whole thing on the aerial school phenomenon.
dude, it's
That's
so
really
fucking good.
interesting.
I haven't seen that one.
What is that?
Basically, there was this like private school in Zimbabwe in the 90s. There was this one day that there was like some special meeting with like parents or teachers or something going on in the school, so they just had like all 60 like school children or whatever like outside just like playing for the day, basically just like a free thing. And then there was one adult chaperone, but while they were out playing and the meeting was happening and all the adults were away, all these children claim that basically they saw a UFO like appear and then like land,
Yeah.
and then like 2 or 3 like aliens basically like came out and telepathically communicated with them, essentially something roughly like, you need to take care of the planet because like you're killing it and you're all gonna die.
And they're telling it to these random kids in Zimbabwe.
Tell them to school children.
They're like,
Yeah. And I mean, it's maybe they are just passing by and they're like they don't understand human civilization. And
Yeah.
it's like
They have
Yeah, like,
light
these
speed
people seem
technology, but they don't
comfortable.
understand human civilization.
yeah.
I mean, who knows what? Maybe they went to a president first, and they were just like, "It's not good for my poll numbers. Like,
All right,
I
well, ask
can't
the
raise
school
money
children
off that." Yeah, I mean, who's to say? But like, it is really strange that basically, like, all their stories were like relatively consistent, not exactly the same, but you would expect that from multiple eyewitness accounts. But they were all like very, very similar, and I mean, there were like tens of them, like, and also like to this day, a lot of them have been interviewed, and like they still like hold on to it that like they all witnessed this thing.
Like identical accounts, like no.
Yeah, and there was like there was a professor from Harvard that was like a psychology professor, and basically he came there to like interview all of them and like study it and figure out like what happened, because basically he wanted to understand the like psychological phenomenon behind these types of things.
Yeah.
And it all culminated with him basically coming back to like the parents and the teachers and being like, I don't have any explanation other than what they said.
Yeah.
He's like, I believe them to be telling the truth, and I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
they believe what they're saying at the very least.
yeah, well, and they're not proud of it either. Like, they all seem very like shook by it, and it was like a traumatizing thing, but they still stand by it.
That's the thing about Bob Lazar too, is he doesn't like, you can make the argument now maybe that he benefits from all of it, but for like years, decades, it ruined his life.
Yeah.
And it still has very seriously negatively impacted his life. And it's like I do get the argument of like the fame argument, but it doesn't hold water to me.
Yeah. At the very least,
like,
it seems like he believes like what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, why stand by it if
And I mean,
like Bob Lazar, they've had him not just like the litmus test, what do you call it, with the heart detector shit, but like also
polygraph.
Yeah, thank you. But also like lie to me shit, like micro expressions, like facial analysts that for a living study liars. So he's either like one of like a top CIA world's best top class liar, or he is
could be a psyop himself.
Or he's completely fucking insane, which that doesn't seem likely to me at all. Bob's very logical,
and the
rational
story's been
person.
very consistent the entire time.
You know, even since the 80s.
Even predicting an element that wasn't even discovered yet.
I guess I need to go back and watch this documentary. I haven't seen this yet. The Bob Lazar one.
I think I watched it, but I don't know what it's called.
What's up with the element? I don't know about that.
Oh man,
element 115. I can't think. I think it's Moscovium. Basically, in like Bob Lazar's like whole thing is. Do you know anything about Bob Lazar?
Not really.
Okay. Quickly go through this.
So he was born in
Tell me everything you know about
where is Area 51 and all that? Is that New
Nevada.
Mexico?
Nevada,
Nevada. Okay, so he was just like a dude basically out in that area of the country. He was just very smart himself. He claims that he went to some prestigious university, MIT. There's no records of him being at MIT, but that's a whole another thing.
Although there are people that have facilitated that and that said that, but not those people have also faced a lot of issues with like the IRS, for example, for talking about it.
So there's like speculation of like, has his entire history of all this been deleted and like, anyways,
that's why there's no records of it.
he was educated at MIT. He lived out in that area. He gained some like local like popularity for basically he built a jet engine to put on his car in his garage. So he's like he knows his way around engineering and like propulsion and stuff to a degree. And so basically he worked at this like
That's why the Coyote, man. Those rockets.
he worked at this Los Alamos like research facility for a while, and then basically he says that he got this government job working at Area S4, which is like on the same compound as like Area 51 and like all that traditional stuff. And that basically he worked on their propulsions team, and he basically claims that they had found alien craft that the government was having them try to back engineer. And it was the crafts all work basically on like gravitational manipulation and propulsion.
Okay.
But the fuel source essentially that created the gravity waves through this contraption was element 115.
Yep.
But,
no shit.
but
So
when
they-
this was, that element didn't exist.
I mean, it's not hard to predict that the next element is going to be
True.
115 when the previous one is 114.
Well, to be fair, I don't think 114 existed yet either, but yeah. I mean,
they just added atom to it or whatever. It's the next
I
one.
bet-
I learned
Yeah,
that
I bet I
in
can
public
predict what the
school.
next one's gonna be.
yeah,
Dude.
I mean, that's true. But
116.
Um, what was I saying?
Well, and it might do what he says it does. We don't know.
So they've been able to synthesize element 115 for like a fraction of a second in like
Decays
microscopic
rapidly.
amounts.
Oh shit.
All those like heavy elements decay super rapidly, so they're
Yeah.
like not super usable. They're just like you can create them for the sake of creating
Yeah.
them, but keeping them stable and like functional is not.
Yeah. So we're like,
You get high as fuck off of 115, bro.
No
If
guy.
you ever get
I'm
it's the
pretty
like
best
you
sure
could
high.
use it for like interstellar travel, but or you could smoke that
Dude,
shit.
you know where my
I got a
mind's
deal
at,
going.
bro.
Isn't that just Spice from Dune?
I love Dune.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, spice melange.
Spice.
Okay, so yeah, I stopped asking people if they believe in extraterrestrials because the answer is unanimously yes. So I've just asked
Right.
people now if they think they've interacted with Earth at all. And is that like unanimous? Sounds like it's unanimous with you guys.
I don't know. I can't like confidently say that.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
if I do kind of buy into the idea that aliens got curious about us when we developed nuclear technology.
Yeah.
They started like nuking the Arizona desert for like years on end, you know,
Mhm.
just testing weapons. They were probably like, okay, well, let's go see what the monkeys are doing now. They have
Yeah.
They're like big bombs. We should go check on
the
them.
power of the sun.
Yeah, harness the
Yeah.
power of the sun. Maybe they shouldn't have that, but yeah, I mean that's possible, I guess. But I'll tell you what, I think extraterrestrial life is a statistical certainty,
Mhm.
but I'm not so sure how certain the possibility of intelligent life is.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
because we haven't found any yet, and that's a little strange. So I think it's possible we're really early in the life of the universe, and so we're just kind of ahead of the curve.
Mhm.
In that sense, at least in like our local like galactic cluster, there's
Okay.
probably some like way out there beyond what like light reaches us where there's intelligent life forms, but yeah, none that we can hear around us.
I mean, I think that like I don't know. I mean, it's even more compelling with all the like recent like starting disclosure by the U.S. government talking about like UAPs and whatnot, and like
I don't want to cut you off, but we actually did a live stream where we read the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing, and it took us like 6 hours because we kept stopping and like talking about it.
Yeah.
But it was nothing. There was nothing in it. Like it. So apparently, what they released to Congress was not what we got. It's not what they released to the public.
but yeah, there was the like closed hearing too. and
Yeah.
stuff.
So we got this heavily redacted version of it.
Yeah, I remember the day it
Um,
came out and I was like, this is malarkey.
I was so
Oh,
hyped.
the
And,
blush.
yeah.
But
But-
they're just
but
black lines.
Not only that, but like yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that come up.
But like not only that, but like more people in the military acknowledging.
Yeah, that's been
and
something
more
I'm talking
footage.
about too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
the way they describe how these like crafts operate and whatnot, like
Mhm.
the speeds they travel and the
Yeah.
maneuvers they make, it's like it's either extraterrestrials or somehow China is way ahead of us and we got totally blindsided and we're fucked.
Yeah.
But
What about extra dimensional?
That was my next
well,
question.
I mean that's
Yeah,
That's it. You beat me to the punch. That was my okay. So life outside of this plane. Oh, I'm in the way of the camera.
Good time, bro.
Yeah,
You
life
just see
outside of this
stars
plane.
and suns. It's
Um,
beautiful though.
Like ghosts, demons, angels, fairies, jinn, whatever you want to call it.
Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z.
yeah. I don't believe in Gen Z.
Gen Z is certainly a psyop.
Do you guys
um,
believe that we could be aliens and that we were like humans were brought from another planet or something?
Why did you make me leave, Merv?
Isn't there like
you
a
seen
whole like
Interstellar?
pan
Yes.
sort
Don't
of
make me
guy?
leave.
What is the gap between like dinosaurs and I guess what you would consider like the first?
Anatomical humans.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a million years or something.
I-
Like
Pretty
See-
good amount of time.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
amount
which
of
is so
time.
funny to me. Did you guys know there's I think it's in Kentucky. There's a there's a giant
No,
park,
yeah, shit's
and
so
they have
fucking
fucking
stupid.
dinosaurs on
So
it.
fucking
There's
stupid.
dinosaurs on a replica of Noah's Ark in Kentucky.
That's fucking
It's so
epic,
fucking
dude.
stupid.
Wait,
It is epic.
I
I
love
like
that.
that. I like
real.
that.
I like
love
the
it.
implications of that, right?
Yeah.
That means they
That's
survived
hell
the
Hell
flood.
yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
So they rode the brackets.
to be fair though,
They
I
survived the
That
flood. They were
sounds
still
fun.
around.
I kind of appreciate them like trying to do those like mind games a little bit more so than just being like the bones were put there by the devil to tempt you. Like
Yeah.
it's a little bit more fun than that.
They're
but-
stretching
I mean,
the
that's just a
theory
fact. The
little
devil
bit,
did
yeah.
put those there.
yeah.
Like-
On the flat Earth.
yeah, yeah.
Like, quick question: did we all grow up in the South?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you all like get to watch? Did you get the privilege of like watching The Land Before Time growing up?
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
never seen
Yes.
it.
Littlefoot is my
amount of
homie.
time.
My
Yeah.
parents were selective. though,
Littlefoot is my
weird stuff.
homie.
Shout out to
Hell
Littlefoot.
yeah, dude.
Yo.
Hell
Did
yeah.
you
Shout out
all,
to
like,
Ducky,
have a
too,
favorite
bro.
character
Shout out to
that you
Ducky.
related to?
Oh,
I really don't
I couldn't
remember.
Ducky and
the
Littlefoot are the
names.
only ones I remember.
Ducky.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was like a
um,
Stegosaurus though,
Or,
wasn't there?
or her challenged brother.
Does she have a challenged brother?
She has a. He's special. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a special guy.
It's been a while since I've
Yeah.
seen Land Before Time.
Yeah, it's been so
Right, yeah.
long. I have no
I
idea.
had like 6 or 7 of those on VHS.
I'd be
Right.
way more concerned if you had seen Land Before Time.
Don't they
Yeah,
have
what's
like
it-
14 of them now?
Oh,
There's a
Probably.
TV show too, I think.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I
You
never
gotta catch
kept
up on the
with it.
lore.
Yeah.
And, like I have like
They're on all the
collection.
platforms now.
It went downtown.
Doesn't that
Man.
movie end with them dying?
That's a different show.
That's Dinosaurs, the TV show, and it was
Dinosaurs.
fucking
Oh,
amazing.
No,
Oh
no,
my
no.
God.
Dinosaurs the TV show scares me.
You,
What
we
about-
said that.
It
We
is
talked about
weird.
that on Freaking Violet episode.
Yeah, they're
It's amazing.
those
Don't
animatronic
be a-
dinosaurs,
It's
especially
not scary.
especially the baby.
I'm
The
the
baby.
baby, gotta love me. Not the
Nope. Nah, I
Is,
don't-
is
I don't
Jurassic
have to
Park
love-
scary to you?
Are you scared, dinosaur?
But dinosaurs,
But
the
the baby
cartoon for
dinosaur,
children, yeah,
That
or
was scary.
the show for children.
Do you
Yeah.
guys remember the movie Dinosaur where they talk to each other?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember
That
the
one
like
was
rubber
good.
hand puppets they had at like
Yeah.
McDonald's and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
had so
don't
many of those in my
remember that.
house. They were it was really bizarre, honestly. Well, maybe it was at McDonald's. Might have been at like Toys R Us or whatever. But it's just a little rubber glove and it looked like the dinosaur head. It was
I think they got shit on by like an asteroid strike too in that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like
or
earlier
something
in the. It was like that was the thing that had like set the plot in motion, like make them go wander across the desert or whatever. They had to like leave.
Oh, back to extra dimensional. Do you think there's life out of this plane?
In
Yeah.
other dimensions.
I don't
Right,
know
that's
that we.
100%.
What does it mean for there to be life? Like, what is life?
That's
on
a
the
great
plane? Like, how do we?
question.
We have to assume so much.
There's
You know.
probably space bugs at least.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's it. We have to define life first. You're right, because what is?
What if there's conscious awareness but no life?
Yeah, they don't have to eat. There's no
Right.
survival.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
That
was
then
just
it's,
like-
it's not alive at that point because it's
Right.
just
Not by
yeah.
our definitions of like biology or life.
Right.
What about
meat
so?
sex.
like tardigrades, you know, are they aware of us? Do tardigrades, you guys,
Yeah,
the little,
yeah,
little
yeah.
things, do they know, like, I just wonder,
No.
are we just so small that like
Oh, it's like another dimension to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, that's some
True.
bug that I don't even care about or know about.
Like would
I know
something
it's there,
that
but
much
yeah.
bigger like even come into consideration?
Yeah.
That's sort of like some macrocosmic like
Yeah.
horror
Right.
right there, you know.
It's Horton
like-
Hears a Who, man.
Like our universe is an atom
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
in a grander universe.
Yeah.
And then there's universes in our atoms.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
universes all the way down and up, man.
Galaxy
Yep.
brain.
It's a fractal, right? That's
Yes.
the word.
Yes.
I instead of asking you guys, I'll just so there's a drug called DMT,
Yes.
uh,
Yeah.
Heard of
and
it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it tonight.
yeah, right fucking now.
Shout out my
Yes.
universe.
That's right.
Just kidding, Alex.
And see, like myself included, it's a lot of people that do it have a hard time not going there with it, like that this is
They
something
come to similar
external.
conclusions. You're
Yeah.
saying like they all come back and kind of say the same sort of.
Yeah, they're also doing trials now, like intermuscular prolonged DMT trips
Mhm.
in group settings, and they're reporting seeing the same things.
Interesting.
Like, that's crazy. Oh yeah.
Are they doing
So-
this for like therapeutic purposes or is like
Experiment, just
Just the, like-
exploration.
huh?
They're trying. The goal is they're actually trying to map a landscape. They're trying to.
Yeah.
Oh,
see what
to
you're
the
saying.
like
Map something
DMT
there.
like spirit
Like,
world.
in the-
Yeah,
in
it
the
might be
beyond.
Patrick Rothfuss. I can't remember. He's the one who did the ones in the 70s. Those trials.
I've heard of like
Interesting.
mathematician guys trying to like decode the like fractalization in our vision and try to determine if there's like a mathematical principle behind it, you
Mm.
know? Like that's interesting because that's some
That
like
would
that's
be
some
really
neurological research right there. I imagine going to a board and being like, so I want to get a group of people and give them all DMT.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Where do I sign?
So why? And you're like, I want to map the DMT realm. They're like,
Yeah.
okay. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I through that, and I've also I was raised in a religious cult, and
Oh yeah.
well, I say that it was Jehovah's Witness, so not
Yeah.
probably as
I mean,
extreme
yeah.
as you were.
I mean, I
making it
call
sound
it-
saying religious cult.
I mean, I call evangelicals like cultists.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Let's handle these snakes. Or that's it, right?
So when I
No,
turned 18,
just
I was also homeschooled,
Christians.
so I was like super sheltered. Everyone I knew was in my church, and when
I was homeschooled too.
okay,
Yeah, no, I get you.
yeah, so like I didn't have any peers outside of my church, and then
Mhm.
when I turned 18, I moved out, and I was like very staunchly an atheist. I was
Okay.
like,
yeah.
This is some like rebellion type stuff. Like,
yeah, I was like,
Mhm.
I was pissed at organized Christianity,
I get it.
and I was like, nothing happens when we die. There is nothing out there.
Mhm.
But I also got really into black magic because I was like, well, let's fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there, so let's
Might as
see.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at like it took me, I didn't have any supernatural experiences until I went looking for that.
Huh.
And like at this point in my life, I've had, and I think it's important to keep in mind that keep like a grain of salt in my own mind about it. But I believe I've encountered many spirits at this point in my life. But for my own sanity, I also keep in mind that I might be going insane saying that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, like hold on to the possibility that it's schizophrenia or something like that, even though I don't think that's what's happening. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, okay.
because of those two things, that and psychedelic use, like I'm quite certain that there's as certain as someone can be, I guess, about something, that there is life outside of this plane. I think they do interact with humanity, and I'm not sure all of them are good. I think there are dark forces at play in humanity as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm
Oh,
going full
yeah.
David Icke on you guys, like reptiles. I don't know if that's where I'm
Yeah.
at it, but I'm also not counting that kind of shit out, I guess.
No, it
I
makes
think-
sense that it would be full spectrum. You know, that you would have good and bad forces.
Yeah.
You kind of
Yeah.
have to have it, full spectrum of everything to balance it all out.
And that's a good, yes, full spectrum too, because it's not just the ultimate evil and the ultimate bad. Like,
There's all of it out there.
yeah, it's just
Mhm.
like people, you're going to encounter a whole
Right.
the whole, like you said, the whole
Everything.
spectrum of people. Yeah.
Neutral, lawful, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I vibe with you on that. My life personally has been riddled with multiple spiritual experiences. I'd say a good portion of them on psychedelics,
Yeah.
but some not. A lot of dreams too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They
I could
theorize
be
that
on the same
DMT
too.
might release in your brain while you're asleep, but they haven't taken that step to find out.
Mhm.
They do say it releases when you die, right?
Yeah, I think
also
it's-
theorized. Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not a really ethical
Yeah,
way
there's not
of
really good
proving
way to
those
test that.
things.
I thought it
So
was
they
proven
don't
that
do
it
it.
releases
In
when you die.
rats.
In rats, yeah.
There's
They've
animal
proven
testing.
that because fuck rats.
Is
Yeah,
it
fuck that.
ethical to kill rats just to see?
It's more ethical.
Right.
Just live with them through their
Right.
day to day until they die old age.
I can't. Yeah.
Testing.
They do,
I don't know.
poison them on the regular.
Yeah. Yeah. For,
So I
progress.
guess it's okay
That's castle doctrine.
For the sake of Lysol,
Cats.
For the sake of
That's castle
Lysol.
doctrine.
Oh.
That's home defense.
Castle dog.
If it's in your home, you can kill it.
Dog will hunt,
So as long as you find it in your house, you can cut its brain open
Yeah.
and find out.
Yeah.
No, that's
Look around and find out.
That's unnecessary cruelty is what that
Ten
is.
Commandments.
I think
That's
that's
some
the Nobel
dollar
Prize in
shit
natural
right
force.
Thy
Alright.
fucketh around,
Hardship.
thy fucking find out.
Hardship.
Hardship.
What do you think we as individuals can do to help our music community and bring people together?
This is a hard shift.
That is.
I'm
That's a hard
sorry.
question.
But what can we do?
Everything's hard.
Go to
now.
shows.
Go to shows.
Go
For
to
sure.
shows.
That's the only answer.
And I'm a
I like
hypocrite
that
for saying that because I'm lazy
Support
as
your
fuck
local
and I never want to leave
artists.
my house.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm exhausted as fuck. I go to shows all the time. I'm like, man, I gotta be at the office at 7 tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just have to like build that community, that scene in general.
And how do you think we get other people to have that outlook?
I think you just show it off, You
I
just,
mean-
you model that behavior and others will follow if you're
You
doing
act
the
like
job.
you're having a good time even when you're tired. You're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, this is great."
Just
So-
bring the good energy,
It's like so tough to do, especially in like Nashville, because I don't know, Nashville's had moments where like the music scene has seemed a little bit better, but for the most part, Nashville's always just been highly pretentious.
Yeah.
It's riddled with cliques and just I'm better than you, or like cool kids clubs and whatnot. And I think that turns off a lot of people.
We've all seen it.
Like, I mean, if you want to actually build the community, you have to build the community, and you
Yeah.
have to welcome new people you see at
Yeah.
shows into your
100%.
circles and whatnot, and make
Yeah.
friends and make everyone feel welcome, and then maybe they would come back.
Tie in, that's where the evil spirits are, because they're in these people that are pretentious.
100%. Yeah.
I mean,
That's,
all their music sucks too.
Yeah.
There's
evil
evil
spirits.
people. I bet there's like an ounce of a good person.
Oh, for
you know?
sure,
Hurt people,
yeah.
hurt people.
Hurt people hurt people.
Well, I mean, it just goes back to we're all just scared babies, just reacting to things. But also too, like I feel like Nashville would benefit greatly from like one really good venue that is very inclusive and accessible,
Yeah.
that is just like the venue. Like other scenes have had it before. Like I don't want to show my like angsty youth, but like, you know, in the 90s with like the San Francisco Bay Area's music scene, all the punks, they had Gilman Street. Like that was like the place that like everybody just went to Gilman Street every weekend. If you wanted to be a band and you wanted to get popular, you played at Gilman Street, and it was just like that one place that like all of it centered around, and out of that you got tons of great bands. And there's been other cases of that, and like I think if Nashville had something like that, it would be very useful.
That brings up another point though. How do we make a venue that, because venues struggle too? You know, I vote for a venue, and it's like we welcome all kinds, but it's like, how do we bring people there? How do we get a community to show up when nobody wants to leave their house?
Yeah.
True.
Um,
Dark Matter is really trying at that.
Dark Matter does well.
I don't know. They're cool people.
I
heard at a point, and I moved here in 2015. And so I think it was beyond its time, but I heard Rocket Town was pretty happening back in its day.
Rocket Town.
I mean,
Was it?
We're not.
I mean,
everybody laughed.
it was
I'm
for
not
a
gonna
very
No,
specific.
it's okay.
It was
Like,
very
I
type
have no,
of-
I'm
It
no
was a
tie
venue.
into Rocket Town. I'm just saying I moved here. I didn't. It was not happening when I moved
There's
here.
a handful of reasons that people, you know, do and don't want to go to Rocket Town.
Also, not
I
suggesting
mean,
we
just
go
look
to
at who
Rocket
founded
Town,
it
make
and,
Rocket
like,
Town
you know,
that thing.
You'll get
I'm just
everything
saying,
answered
I
on
think
Rocket Town.
it was
but-
like a thing at a time.
I mean, there have been venues like that in Nashville. I mean, there used to be a punk venue in like late 2000s, early 2010s called the Muse.
Mhm.
That was like really popular. My
the-
older brother
The
went there
producer
every
of the
weekend.
show ran
Um,
sound for the Muse for over a decade. The
Yeah,
guy who edits these episodes.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Shout out to Neve.
Yeah. So like that was
Hey,
definitely
thank you.
one of those. I mean, doesn't exist anymore, but like that 70s house used to be like a hardcore
I
venue
love
for
that
that
70s
play
house,
for
and I
that
went
type
to,
of
like,
thing.
try to hit them up, play a show, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just like not really one right now. I
Come
want
play
there to be.
Springwater, I'll welcome you.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Springwater
play
Supper and Lounge
Yeah,
Club.
We played. Wait. Yeah.
Over
there's
there
a
near
ton.
Parthenon.
There's a pretty
Yeah, yeah.
cool show going on at Springwater tomorrow, isn't there?
Yeah, Alice, you'll have missed it by the time you see this, or
Yes.
you will have been there. Alice doesn't get out
Mhm.
a lot. She's
Yeah.
she's kind of in another realm, but yeah,
It's true.
we're
Same.
playing
Feel that.
Springwater tomorrow.
Mhm.
Word.
Yeah, you guys are both playing tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
are.
playing tomorrow.
Except
Very
not
cool.
not tomorrow for you.
Not
Tomorrow for
No.
all of us.
For all of us
For all of
tomorrow.
us.
Because
Yeah,
Alice
right.
is a time traveler.
Mhm. She's
Yeah.
everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Jealous.
Yeah. Hard segue back to philosophy.
Damn.
Like, what do you think happens after we die? And no one knows. No one knows. But do
Spoiler
any
alert.
ideas make more sense than another one? Or
Well, where were we before we were born?
You don't know?
Right. I think we should go back to that probably.
what do you have any
That's
ideas
scary,
about what
yeah.
that might be? Or what it's I
Even for
suppose
like
it's
what it's impossible to even like talk about some non-existence, you know.
Sure.
It's like
But it's
If
a
not
very
the-
real possibility of non-existence.
right, but
Something that
I mean,
it took me a while to cope with.
I
you know,
mean,
that it
yeah.
could be. That's not necessarily what I believe happens, but it's a real possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but I don't know. I guess I've always kind of just found solace in the fact that like everything is. So like you're
Right.
probably not going to not be. You
right.
know?
So why worry about like what it's not going to be because it already is.
But
It doesn't matter.
Right. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I want to get real small. I just want to be super tiny and be able to live out my childhood fantasy of being Ant-Man or something.
That's heaven right there.
Yeah.
That's heaven.
Ride around.
I'm pretty sure the
Yeah.
Bible says that actually
Fucking
somewhere.
sick.
That's
Yeah.
I
That
will
would be
become
tight.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will become Ant-Man. Yeah. I think I remember that one.
The only, I guess, problem / plus side is you also become Ben Affleck or Paul Rudd. I don't know why.
I
You
was
become
gonna
Ben
bring
Affleck for no
that up.
reason.
Yeah, Ben Affleck,
For no
though, that
reason.
would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ben
Paul
Affleck.
Rudd's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I don't get worked up about those types of people, but yeah, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I really liked him in France.
He's
He was
beautiful.
Phoebe's boyfriend. Remember that?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really liked
yeah.
him in Clueless.
haven't seen that.
I don't think I've seen Clueless.
Oh
You
man,
really should.
it's a
What
classic.
He
year
does
was
like the
that?
sweater vest and like that, and doesn't
95 or
normally
something.
get me.
It was mid '90s, '95, I think.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Like the movie Midnight.
Mhm.
Like, good
Yeah,
stuff.
oh yeah.
Limited summer.
Midsummer's also great.
but yeah, I don't know. On that, like, you know, all the philosophical talk, I guess, like light plug. Eyes of Light on the Honey EP
Yeah.
is basically just a shroom inspired like woo woo worship song that I wrote practically. I mean, it's just
that was the first track I listened to.
this is pretty much the entire
Yeah.
themes of all of it. I mean, the climax before the chorus of where Gabe shrieks out, "You won't be alone when you die," and like
After we recorded that and I was listening to it in my car, I would cry the first few times I listened to it. It was like I hope that doesn't come off as pretension. I just, I was just like, this is really powerful. I feel
Yeah.
like I didn't write it, he wrote it. The lyrics just like hit me. I fucking love that song so much.
You guys are doing good shit.
Have you guys seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why are you
So-
wearing that
That's a
rabbit
month.
suit? Why are you wearing that human suit?
So do you agree with the statement or disagree with the statement? Every living being dies alone, or every living creature dies alone. One of those two.
well,
Depends
as
on
I
what you
just
mean
said,
by
no.
alone.
Yeah. Well, I think
I think
that's-
if you feel like you're alone, you are, and if you feel like you aren't, then you aren't.
So one of my DMT trips, I saw, and this was a drug trip, so take this with a grain of salt. I do, but I was shown unequivocally, like, could not, like, I wasn't told about this. I was shown this, so there
Mhm.
wasn't any arguing with it at the time.
Yeah.
That like the universe was kind of just doing its thing, and then one day it, or maybe no, it was probably more like it was like there was nothing, and then consciousness arose out of nothing.
Yeah.
It became aware of itself, and
Right.
it's like I am completely alone, and it was like you can't.
More like we are completely alone.
Yeah, and like I fucking felt that, and it's like
because like
yeah.
like
and
your
we
consciousness
are
was
you,
unified.
like,
It was unified.
that
until
is
it
I.
wasn't, like it.
So yeah, I'm getting there. It's like so it was really like alone in a way that's like hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing else. And so it created life so it could go down and pretend it's not alone.
There's a principle in Hinduism where they talk about Brahman engaging in the act of creation and so that it could look away from itself. So it could jump into the lives of each individual
Yeah.
and forget itself and then play out the
interesting.
grand
So
play.
it's not, I see what you're saying. So it's not exactly, so what I was getting at is that we're all the same person.
Sure.
Yes.
Like,
That's consistent with Brahman.
yeah, but it kind of sounds like he's riding through it. Like he can jump in and out. But, or is that not?
Well, once you're enlightened, you can kind of do that. But most people are doing the play, but they don't realize they're doing the play, sort of thing.
Okay.
Right?
I
And
thought you were
that's-
saying that Brahman invented people, but they aren't necessarily him. He just jumps
No,
down.
he is all of.
He is all of
every.
it.
He is. I mean, Brahman
Okay.
is everything. It's not really he
Gotcha.
or she. It's Brahman is the totality of
Got it.
existence.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
same. It's the exact same thing with like the Tao and Taoism.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
Yes.
That's fascinating that, yeah. So that's cool that lines up with, I didn't know anything about that. And that's cool that it lines up with
That's what I'm
that.
saying. Like
No, yeah.
people come
I mean,
to similar conclusions
I've-
from like different places. essentially.
I've had like very, very, very similar experiences through psychedelics and just a lot of being fucked up and hard thinking. But yeah, I mean, also listening to him talk about that shit, reading the Tao, other like Buddhist texts and whatnot. Like my personal philosophy is essentially that basically for one reason or another, there was God, the Tao, the deity, reality, like whatever you want to call it, and that it basically like broke itself into everything.
Yeah,
and that
but
we
individuated.
Because it's infinite, though, it still exists in that perfect form. When it breaks itself, it's like it duplicates itself, right?
Yes, it's
Mhm.
one
Because
yet
you can't
multiple.
define infinity. It's just that infinity is there now plus another infinity.
Yeah, but that basically essentially like I like Luke does not exist. Scott, Gabe do not actually exist. Like these
Yeah.
brief like flashes of egos are just kind of like games, or they're
Okay.
roles in a play
Right.
essentially.
It's
And
a
that,
great play. I think it's called Leela. in
And-
Hinduism. It's a good
Really?
play.
That's cool.
Leela.
I like that. That's a It's cool.
Yeah, and essentially, like when we die, I think the only thing that will die is our ego. Like what
Yeah,
we
exactly.
are, what
What does it mean to die?
I'm terrified of that because I don't believe in that in a bodily death, but like I hope that you're wrong. I hope the ego continues because you see, like back to the afterlife thing, because that's my worldview. It's like, okay, so I see that you have like a cycle of reincarnation. Basically, you have a nirvana type returning to like the Brahman type thing, like the God consciousness, the collective. So I think in what is it, Hindu, they call it like reincarnation is samsara, and then there's nirvana.
Right, you want to break out of samsara and
Yeah.
get to nirvana by breaking from samsara.
Yeah, I'm praying for a middle path. I'm praying to break out of samsara but retain ego.
Okay.
And I think there might be some precedent for that potentially.
Well, I look at it this way. I think once you break out, I think if you're really good at it, you can go back to the play and be like genuine in the way you engage in the role.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, be kind of lifted and free, knowing that it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's still consequence to it, even though it's all nothing matters. It's still like, it's funny, is like being human, things obviously matter.
Yeah.
Like love matters, like pain matters,
Can I suggest a book for your next book club?
Totally.
Have you ever heard of The Unbearable Lightness of Being?
No, I'm gonna need to write it down because I'm the worst.
The Unbearable
Alex,
Likeness
you are
of
the
Being.
worst.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
The Unbearable Likeness of Being.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's really
Sound
good.
title.
It's
Will you join us for it?
Sure.
Because like
They have to
being
now.
is unbearable.
Yeah. Well, see, what they said is they took Nietzsche has this idea called the eternal recurrence, where he says you will live this life over and over and over and over again for eternity in ad infinitum. And he kind of proposed that in some way as like a thought experiment because once you consider that everything you've done, everything you're going to do will continue to happen, it adds a lot of weight to your actions, right? Because every action will be repeated ad infinitum. So you're like, do I want to be fucking staring at my phone at 2 a.m. in my bed over and over and over again until the end of time?
It's an interesting spell we've cast on humanity.
Yeah, and so the writer of Milan Kundera, I think, is the author of The Unbearable Lightness. He kind of flips that on its head. He says, well, okay, let's assume for a moment that this life actually doesn't continue and that this is the only like one time you live, YOLO, right?
Yeah.
YOLO.
He says that lightness is even more unbearable than the weight of infinite like recurring.
Oh shit.
Like that light of like you can't undo it, you can't like change it. You're here,
It's
and
so
all of your
permanent.
actions will spin off for infinity, and you will just vanish from the world essentially.
That's
And so
very
that's like
true.
that's heavy with
Yeah.
how like dizzying and like light it feels to be here for such a short fraction of time.
Yeah.
So you have to life max. You have to do as much as possible all the time.
hedonism.
Everywhere.
David Goggins. Shit.
Hedonism.
You guys know David Goggins?
I know the name.
What the
but that's
name? I'm
yeah.
not sure I know.
Can't hurt me, but like,
You know David Goggins?
yeah, I've read
Yeah.
the book. I had to for work.
Yeah, man, this guy is like you're saying, like maximizing your time. Like he was just this normal dude. He was not in good shape. He was like, I think I would say like he was out of shape, right? Like not in good shape. And then he like in his 30s went through SEAL training and just like
That's old.
yeah.
He's like an impressive dude, but like he kind of gives like some bad advice, like
I
has
mean,
some like toxic
if
ideals.
you're actually like life maxing, yeah, you're gonna
Like-
give people
like-
terrible advice.
like some of the stuff he says, like motivation is bullshit because like it's never there when you need it. Like you kind of just have to do it, like Nike that shit essentially. But like
That sounds like
dude
motivation.
like really needed therapy and he kind of like had this idea that like, oh no, therapy's bullshit, and like he literally like gave himself a kidney infection because he's like, no,
What?
I'm like, yeah, he like ran a bunch of marathons. He was
He's
like, no, I'm not
insane.
gonna take a piss. He's like,
He is totally
no,
insane.
he's like, no, you need to run on a broken leg. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like
So-
he, like,
Huh.
Yeah.
like very
He's-
inspirational, but like, no, like self-care is important.
Yeah.
Therapy is good. Like,
Yeah.
So his whole
Indeed.
thing is like he was not in good shape. Now he's in like the best shape.
Sure.
He's broken several world records. Like he's
And
done the
bones.
most. He has the most consecutive pull-ups in recorded history.
Wow.
It like took him like over 24 hours, and his hands, like he was out of commission for like a month and a half or something
and
afterwards.
he probably would have
But-
been out of commission for less than that if he had like not run.
The reason I brought him up though is his whole thing, his whole mantra is that like I'm not special. You have this within you. Like there's nothing
Sure.
innately different about me that makes me like this. I just decided to go out there and get it.
But I mean, it is true though that people are genetically disposed to have different temperaments.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's not reasonable. I don't think it's reasonable to say that everyone has that
So-
potential in them.
So I'm with both of you on this, that it's not necessarily good advice, and it's not necessarily true. But I think if you live your life that way, it can be beneficial towards you, even if it's not true.
I think there's good stuff in it. Take
Yeah, it's
what
not
you
pathetic.
need, leave the rest. Be a filter, not a sponge.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you guys like the Midnight Gospel? Have you watched?
Hell
it?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I started this podcast like 2 weeks before Midnight Gospel started, and I was like, "Oh man, that's what I want to
Yes, so
do."
you've been doing it, like, longer than
Have
a
you
year
listened?
and a half,
Have you listened to his podcast?
Duncan No, I haven't seen
The
his show.
Family
We had this
Hour.
argument
It's
about how long he's been doing
it's
the
a
podcast.
like it gets way more heady than Midnight Gospel. And he brings.
Well, I mean,
on
all
some-
Midnight Gospel is just clips of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duncan
exactly.
Trussell.
Yeah, which
Podcast.
they like mix some stuff up like names and stuff for the purpose
Yeah,
of storytelling
yeah.
and anonymity and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's so good.
I love the
it's
one
so
he
good.
did with Damien Eccles.
Yes,
Dude,
dude. I listened to the
Which-
podcast after that, and then I watched the episode and realized that was Damien Nichols in the episode. I was like, holy
Which
fuck!
one is that?
yeah, Damien
Oh
Eccles.
my god, what episode is that?
Oh, I don't.
Is it the
three-
magic guy or
It's 3. Yeah, High Magic.
High
He was
Magic,
the
yeah.
guy that was
he's
false.
in
Yeah,
prison
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point? Yeah.
Oh, the dude that killed that kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
dude that killed that kid and got away with it. Oh man, you know what? I've heard that argument too, and I don't know, dude. I don't know because he didn't at first. When I first heard like he got released, I was under the impression it was on DNA evidence. That's not the case.
No.
He got out on.
Sufficient evidence to convict, and like
Was it you who told me about this?
it was
No, it was Emily. Yeah,
Insufficient evidence.
yeah, but yeah, he got out on like
and because their trial was
It-
like shitty.
Well, I don't think it was insufficient evidence, but it was a weird loophole. I can't remember. Like he admitted to something, and they made like some kind of deal.
Huh.
I think it's one of those things where they're like, you have enough to convict, but I'm not admitting that I'm guilty.
Yes,
I mean,
Yeah,
I forget what it's called,
that's
but it's like
you're
a
right.
something
That's
plate.
it. That's what it was.
I'm not entirely sure that he killed that kid, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did either. Like,
Yeah,
I kind of just get the feeling that like he learned this lesson while he was in prison. But,
don't kill kids, or at least don't get caught.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
who
learned his
knows?
lesson. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want to be like he was falsely imprisoned if he actually fucking did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's interesting.
It's like, no, dude, Damien Eccles is a great guy. Everyone should trust him.
Yeah, and also for like all
Trust
the
your children around him.
for all the like woo woo shit, I kind of buy into like the sort of like magic shit and stuff that he talks about. I'm like pretty skeptical of.
I mean, it all just sounds
Um,
like bastardizations of like Eastern, like theosophy and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I
So-
mean, I'm pretty sure
That's what it
that
sounds like
like
to me.
I'm pretty sure that what he kind of practices and follows is just like everything that came out of like the
Like hermetic. Like,
yeah,
movements and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah,
Really,
yeah, and
really
it's just like
Crowley.
Aleister Crowley and stuff, which I hate
Yeah,
Aleister
yeah,
Crowley
like-
with passion. he was just a spoiled rich brat that just like fucking
I
yeah.
was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go dark with it.
I like
he's
some
just a
of-
grifter. Like
Yeah, Aleister Crowley was not a good guy. I do appreciate some of the principles in Thelema, but according to Crowley, he didn't write that shit. It was handed to him by an Egyptian god. So
So have said all
those who know
apostles
me
or
call me
whatever in
Crowley. Those
history.
who slight me, wait,
I mean-
no, those who foul me call me Crowley. Yeah.
So what
This
happens
is funny
with
you
the
corrected me.
Mormons,
Yeah, I mean,
Islam.
what was that John Smith, Joseph Smith?
Joseph Smith
Yeah,
Mormons, they
I
get delivered
mean-
to him by tablets or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who can.
Dum, dum, dum,
Dum,
Are you guys
Nice.
familiar with chaos magic? Like
Yes.
that line of reasoning?
I watch
I've-
Marvel movies.
That's right. Didn't they do like
Yeah.
Wanda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has chaos magic or whatever.
That's fine. I heard that. I haven't seen it, but I hope it's good. It's gonna piss me
It's
off. if
really
it's not.
it's really. Do you watch any of the other movies? Have you
The
watched
last-
the TV shows? If you're not caught up on like all the TV shows, if you're not a nerd, you won't like Doctor Strange. It's pretty fucking boring.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I love Sam Raimi though,
it's pretty fucking
You might
boring.
kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
it because there is.
and I
It's
love Tobey
very
Maguire.
Sam Raimi, and
is, but, like, I don't
also
know.
like there's a shit ton of just like Easter eggs of his in there. A lot of references to like all of his other
Hmm.
work and stuff. So
Is Ash in it?
yes,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you're a nerd about that stuff, you know, like it's fan service.
I mean if you're a Sam Raimi fanboy, you're gonna like you're
Yeah.
gonna get that fan service.
Right.
Right?
I mean, it was cool to be like, oh, the fucking Scarlet Witch and dark magic chick. It was cool. Like because I like
Yeah.
like Marvel stuff. But like I watched it once. First time I really liked it because it was like fan service. It was entertaining. The second time I knew all the fan service was gonna happen. So I was like really just bored the whole time. Like
Yeah, but like that's why Alex, my friend Alex Dunn from band Melina Cole, light shout out to him. Like he's not a huge Marvel nerd, but he loves Sam Raimi, so like he
Mhm.
fucking loved Doctor Strange.
Oh,
when it
nice.
came out.
I'll check it out. The reason I brought up chaos magic, we were talking about Damien Eccles and how he didn't have any real unique concepts. He was deriving from hermetic and like alchemical stuff or like older occult, like Thelema, Crowley shit. Crowley.
I'm just we can say Crowley. I was just fucking.
Yeah, but yeah, he had a whole thing about call me Crowley, not Crowley.
Yeah.
But but chaos magic is like 1940s new age philosophy.
okay.
Phil
These like
Heim.
alchemists like coming from the same like branch of people, or is it something else?
So you can boil it down entirely to
Boil it down. I don't know. That's like an alchemy joke.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the mercury or whatever. transforms
level
to gold.
alchemy.
Boil it down.
no pun intended, but yeah. It basically comes down to faith itself is power. So it doesn't matter what
Sure.
you put faith in. And then people get frustrated at chaos magic because
So-
chaos magic looks at every belief system and goes, oh, that's chaos magic.
Yeah, I can get why they
So
made
is
noise
this
about that.
like manifestation and stuff?
Yeah, so I think the only limit to human potential is physicality.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah.
I think we're boundless except physics.
Right.
I
think that's
have
hard for people to deal with. The fact that like, because we're the only creature that's like limitless in our minds,
Mhm.
but like bounded in our body, and we can recognize that we're bounded in our body. So it's like
Yeah.
hard to deal with. I think.
yeah, so I don't think we can fly or shoot fire
Shackles,
our
dude,
hands,
yeah.
but beyond that we can do anything at all.
We can build
Um,
something to do those things also.
Yeah, exactly. That's
The
we can,
potential is endless with creativity and
yeah.
True. What makes
Yeah.
it special is that willingness to try something new.
innovation.
Yeah, we'll never fly. It's like
Fuck you, yeah, we will.
yeah,
Watch. We'll
yeah,
do it now.
until we built an airplane.
Till the right point.
Teleportation, no. I might never see us do that.
Oh,
That
I
makes
wanna
me
do it
really
so bad,
sad
that would be
because
so
anytime
fun.
somebody's like, what would your superpower be? it took me a while to come to it, but I'm like easily teleportation.
In a social setting you don't want to be in,
fuck
boom,
traveling.
you're back home.
Yeah. Like
Fuck being
commuting
late
to
to
work,
things.
I might never be late again.
We might get there if we
Right.
understand.
I would
I
still
like you're
be
like
late.
I might not ever get
I might not.
Right.
Well, we adjust to our circumstance, and all of a sudden, like sleeping in
There's a
5
reason,
more
right,
minutes,
yeah.
5 more minutes, all of a sudden,
It
I'm
gets
late
pushed
again.
forward, right?
Yeah.
Every time.
And it's like, oh, I wish I could live in LA, but it's too expensive. Well, all of a sudden,
It
I
doesn't
basically
matter.
live in LA.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You just teleport to your house
Yeah.
and BFB every night.
So, in your theory, we could teleport one day, but I probably won't.
We might get there
Not with that attitude.
once we understand like quantum entanglement, like because they understand that like things affect each other across distance at the same time, and it doesn't make sense.
Hey, we should entangle so that we can affect each other across distance.
Like that movie Avatar by James Cameron.
You know what I mean.
Tentacle
You
to
guys
mine.
do like 2 episodes without me, and all of a sudden, like
We're
you're way
entangled.
closer than we are.
We entangled our James Cameron's Avatar hair braids together.
Two
That's right.
monkeys fucking.
Now I feel everything he feels.
Yeah, so I think so in chaos magic there's 2 schools of thought. There's left hand path and right hand path.
Okay.
Right hand path is I draw my source from some kind of patron,
Oh,
whatever.
this is some D&D shit. I love this.
Yeah, very. D&D hit the nail on the head actually when it comes to like the differences between like what a warlock is and a sorcerer is,
Mhm.
wizard.
Well, that's why you killed those kids. D&D.
Man, I watched an 80s movie with Tom Hanks called Monsters and Mazes and Monsters. It was a straight to TV
It's Tom
80s
Hanks.
movie about
Oh,
Tom
shit.
Hanks.
It's about Tom Hanks.
About documentary
This is
about-
the creation of Chet Hanks.
Yeah, yeah, documentary about Tom Hanks getting so into D&D that he goes on a killing spree and does not.
What?
Yeah.
This is based on
It's great.
Celebrities can get away with anything.
If you guys like shitty movies,
Hell yeah.
I love
So
shitty
good.
movies, right? The best.
the best. We
I
should
love-
watch it next time you come over,
I'm down. I
Yeah.
do love Tom Hanks a whole lot.
dude.
I'm a
We're
big
watching.
fan.
We're watching Mazes and Monsters.
Big and Catch Me If You Can. Some of my favorite movies.
Well, why don't we just watch every Tom Hanks movie?
Dude, right. Starting from the beginning.
So
Y'all are
right
rabbit
hand is
holing.
draw power from a patron with left hand.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, like I get my power from some sort of source, so like prayer.
Okay.
So
Devotion.
yeah. And then left hand path is I get my power from myself.
Okay.
I understand that faith itself is power, so I choose myself as my source of power.
Sounds like some Nietzschean, like we have to create our own meanings sort of stuff.
Yeah. And so earlier I mentioned I've had what I would consider a lot of experiences with spirits. I've never experienced poltergeist activity, which is why I think your story is so interesting. I've never seen something break physics.
It was strange.
I've only seen things, or not, well,
Experience things.
I've only experienced things through like bodily possession or like channeling in different kinds.
Christ.
Channeling Christ.
Yeah. Channel-
That's what you
I
needed in
am
that
Jesus
moment.
Christ.
Oh, that's right, man.
Yeah, but that being said, I've never seen something break physics, right? So I might
Yeah.
just be insane. So I've never seen, yeah. So like there is an argument to be made that I'm communicating with parts of my own consciousness, but that's actually funny. Back to chaos magic, it's the whole like school of thought is basically we don't know. So fuck theory. Let's get to practicality. What can we do? Let's stretch
Sure.
human potential and worry about how it works later.
Yeah.
So that's I think there are when it comes to spirits and that kind of when we're talking about that, I think when we talk about real and imaginary, that is our language failing us.
Right.
There's got to be a better explanation than that.
Well, I was gonna say even like something that is experienced by somebody that, you know, according to like scientific principles is not real.
Mm.
you experienced it. Isn't your experience pretty
Your
real?
experience is
Dude.
real for sure.
I've thought about this a lot, like degrees of reality. Like,
There you
are there steps? Is there a middle ground? Like, oh man, I've broken my brain on this thought a lot, a lot of times.
The line between like genius and madness is
Yeah.
pretty fucking tightrope.
Mhm.
But when it comes
truly
to
is.
experiences, what do you quantify as real? You know, because
It's up to you.
we're all just living in our own psychological construction of reality.
True.
Mhm.
Nothing is real.
Like yes,
Nothing is.
I mean,
Everything's permitted.
I think
Strawberry fields forever.
there's definitely a great deal of truth to that we all live in our own solipsistic worldview. But I mean, I think objectively, there's also this HUD where we're all interacting with each other.
What do you
Like,
mean?
and we don't like I don't have perfect control of my environment. I
No.
can't, for example, fly. I also share this space with all of you. So
Mhm.
it's and the rest of the people.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
maybe
like,
none of us exist, and you're the only one that exists.
I don't
I
think
second
so.
Might as well assume that's not the case. Just in case it's not, as if
I've had
Right.
some
Could
scary
be bad.
times where I thought
So-
that in the midst of tripping or being just incredibly.
And maybe I'm
fucked
the
up.
only one that exists.
Well,
Oh
man.
my God,
Everybody
man.
else is just an NPC.
There's a word for it. It's called solipsism.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I
There's a
got.
whole like theory behind it,
Yeah.
and it's
It's a-
true, man.
It's true.
I'm telling you right now. Somebody bust through the door, pulls me out.
Like,
You're
seriously,
my
true,
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 why you're
true,
scared?
true. I'm gonna say I have the
Doors
deep
only
fear of the
open one
truth.
way.
Because I
They
care
only
about
open
your-
inward.
That's right. Fuck.
I guess I hope that's not the case.
Really?
But I mean, what I'm saying about us all being the same person, that's not really that is solipsism.
Sort
It's
of.
different.
We're all
In a way,
Brahmin.
if we're all the same.
well,
No,
Yeah, but that-
solocism.
that solipsism is like I'm real, nothing else is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Brahman is like
Everything's
If we're
everything,
all,
we're all
real,
real.
we're just all the same
the
being.
the thing that separates me from you is really more of an illusion than the reality. It's probably something
right.
they would
Yeah.
say.
Something you were talking about
Namaste.
entanglement, I feel like sort of can, if you look at it in the right way, sort of like alludes to the fact that space is a construct, like of our minds,
Mhm.
or just like the appearance of stuff. There's not really space, and like everything's information.
If you guys aren't on that Alan Watts shit yet, you probably
Hell yeah.
should get on that.
I love Alan Watts. Yeah, there's actually I saw a quote I really
Is it-
liked of
oh.
his the other day. It was there once was a man that said though, I know that I know that I know, but what I would like to see is the me that sees me when I know that I know that I know.
That's I'd have to like write out the like.
I'll send
break
it
it
to you or
down.
something because yeah, it
Do
kinda,
they know that we
That
know?
might be
That I
on
We
know.
know that they know.
If they know that I know.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean
have to
that's
write
I
this out.
I
They
get,
don't
like,
know that I know right now.
Do they know what I know?
I know right
Oh,
now.
God. Do I know what I know?
Oh my god.
Damn.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Dude,
sometimes.
for real, for real.
They don't know that I know right now,
Gee.
dude.
They don't know that it be like that, but it do.
Let it
Yeah.
do.
But it do.
Oh, true that, dude. For real, for real.
Period.
On cat.
God.
Oh, yeah.
No.
For real.
What are your policies on having to pee in the middle of the podcast?
Oh, go for it.
You cut the fuck
You have to do it.
My policy is you have to pee at least once.
Okay, cool. I pee on the.
Yeah, go for it,
boxing
dude.
gloves. Yeah.
That is the pee hole.
Oh,
Nice.
You're sitting in like an hour and a half right now,
Oh,
actually.
Sorry, I was having so much
So
fun.
we should probably find some
Yeah.
some thoughts that wind down to leave out.
Sure.
Place.
What's your favorite Smash character?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so
dude.
glad you
What's your Smash
asked.
main?
We gotta wrap this up so we
Smash,
can we gotta
man.
smash now.
We can't do that too long.
You
I
got
guess
something
you
to
can do
Banjo
whatever the
Kazooie.
fuck you want.
Is that
You
is that
can
actually a
live your
character?
best
Yeah,
life.
dude.
Is he?
I
Yes.
gotta work at 7 a.m.
And that's why it's my favorite. I always
did
love
get-
Banjo
I did
Kazooie. It's
ask
like
for
a
it a
special
long
place in
time
my
ago.
heart.
We need to cut this part out because we're just bullshitting.
Yeah, we'll cut it.
Cut that.
Since this is getting cut out, though, I actually did go ahead and ask Neve to cut the part out where I was like, I'm not gonna make statements on my people do or don't.
Specifically Rocket Town.
We'll talk after.
You'll have to remind him when the episode's going.
I walked into the kitchen and I texted him.
Right, but it'll be a while before
this part's
episode
gonna
goes
get
up,
cut
so you're
out,
gonna
and we're
have to-
talking about it right now, and he's gonna see it while he's editing.
Damn.
Okay.
That's some Inception stuff.
I say he knows that we know that he knows.
He knows that he knows,
Exactly,
dude.
man.
It just, I don't know. I just rather be like professional. I didn't even say anything, but I just rather like not talk about them and associate the podcast with that, or like, you know. the art.
I feel that.
Have y'all ever
Still
watched
making-
Rocket Power?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Is that not okay too? God damn it.
Wait, no, I was just getting excited.
I know. Rocket Power is the shit.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
watching that on.
Uncle Tito.
What's that little like?
Uncle Tito's always
Right.
stoned, bro.
that
He was always on
shit.
that zone,
He was
dude.
on
Alright.
that fucking zone.
Alright, back in the zone, back in the hole.
After you.
Oh my
No,
god.
but go ahead.
Rocket Power.
Wait, deep question. Chris Chan,
Oh, dude.
are you guys deep into
So I heard he
I'm
was going to
super
trial.
Christian, yeah.
I don't know. Did he?
I'm
Do you know more than I do? I know he's going to trial. I don't know anything. Past
very far into the YouTube doc.
I started watching it,
Chris Chan.
but I've only made it like
Oh.
40 minutes.
So-
I thought
Only
you said
40
Christian.
minutes? Christian
I
Chandler,
thought you
Christian
said-
Weston
This
Chandler.
is a saga.
This person.
I mean, how many hours do you think there is of the YouTube doc?
It's 68 episodes, I think now. I'm
How
about
long?
How long
has
is
he been
each?
doing this?
about an hour long,
Fuck.
if not more.
Yeah.
Um, since I think the person who made it, Gino Samuels, had nothing to do during quarantine. No, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was during quarantine that it started coming out, and it's a very touchy topic. It's very strange. Chris Chan is a high functioning autistic, they say.
So they say.
Yeah,
I've heard them referred to as the most trolled person on the internet.
yes, literally, like Chris Chan's gullibility got the best of them so many times throughout the saga of YouTube, and oh Jesus Christ, it's so much. And now Chris Chan has transitioned to Christine, and Christine raped her
Oh.
mother. Or no, is that how it went? I don't really know.
I didn't even know
The mother
what she
is
was in trial for.
the mother has dementia, and there's a lot going on with it. It's too much. It's too much. You have to, yeah. Henry from last podcast on the left, he was like, I'm going to the trial.
Dude.
The
No,
only thing that I
it's so
know-
much. It's so much to take in. It's very heartbreaking and very sad, but there are some very funny moments in the YouTube doc.
like them making a character that's a mixture of Sonic and
Sonic
Pikachu.
that's
Sonic
a
Two.
whole other,
Yeah.
like, that's not even, oh man, yeah, that's the whole basis of everything.
Oh,
Which
man.
Sonichu is just Japanese for Sonic, so at first Christian was just like, yeah, Sonic, but yellow and not Pikachu at all.
Man, the Chris Chan lore goes deep.
Oh god, it's so deep.
What
I
the
really
fuck?
am like sunken in, like waist deep in this
God.
shit.
You're a fellow Chris. Do you, are you familiar with Christian?
I know that most Chris's that I know are real pieces of shit. It doesn't surprise me that this character is a shady motherfucker.
Yeah.
Say that. But I'm not familiar with it. As when he first brought it up, he said Christian. I thought he was asking if we were Christian. I was like,
That's what I thought too.
I thought we all like
no,
pretty
no,
much
we just-
knew
we
that
all
we
accepted
were
our Lord
right,
and
no,
Savior
no,
as
Is it
no,
not
Lord.
super obvious that we're
that
all
we
Christians?
are super Christian.
Someone's Grace Church of Christ. That's not how I'm going out.
We're pretty offended by everything you guys have said.
Yeah.
Good to know.
We're just gonna delete this and move on.
Just cut this.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that's right.
grandparents were pastors. If that.
Oh,
nice.
That's about my.
What
Both of
what
them?
denomination?
Like a couple duo?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Alright.
Have you guys
So
seen
you-
the Righteous Gemstones?
No, but I want to.
But it's
I know what
really
you're
it's
talking about.
oh god, what's his name? From Hot Fuzz?
Oh shit! I love Hot Fuzz.
I
And
think. Am I thinking? of
Danny
right?
McBride,
Simon
Danny
Pegg?
McBride. Sorry, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
John Goodman,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then the
yeah.
dude
Right.
from Always Sunny. What's his name?
Charlie Day.
No, he's
Someone
Someone
said
Always
Charlie
Sunny?
Kelly.
not Always Sunny. Workaholics.
Oh, Workaholics, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Blake or
I don't know.
The short, like
I literally
cute one.
just
He's
started
funny.
rewatching.
Oh, Adam,
Workaholics
what's his
today.
Yeah.
Dude, it looks really good. A friend of mine was telling me
Gotta
about
be
it. Now
for
look
it.
at the
Really
trailer.
funny.
Holy shit.
But yeah, they're like
They're all
mega church
pastors.
preachers, and it's like a wife and husband duo, or there was a wife and husband. She's dead. That's a whole thing. But
What denomination were your grandparents?
Non-denominational, but
Okay.
people talked about handling snakes. So
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's an interesting
yeah.
one.
that is an interesting
I
one.
actually-
and that's
Yeah.
what my grandparents are like.
I actually had an in to go to a snake handling church in rural Alabama,
You mean
and I
this
was
is a
gonna
thing?
go and film it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
go, but I should.
Damn.
have.
I don't-
Dude,
I
you
don't-
should.
I don't think he
Because you
would
can
have
just
escaped.
go, right? They're not gonna turn you away.
Did you
They
guys?
want new followers. Right?
It's true.
New snake
I
touchers.
know.
You're like, he's like, I don't know about that kind of church.
I think these. I don't know. They seem to keep to themselves. Like it's.
I
It's
would-
a weird.
if they're doing the
culture.
snakes, yeah.
At least this is. At least, yeah.
I went
Just
to
We're
Ryan.
talking about hill people, okay?
That's true. I went to
All
some
right.
like Pentecostal churches in Mississippi.
Nice.
growing up.
Uh-huh.
You too?
No,
I
I'm
know
from
Mississippi, but not
like
Pentecostal
like
ones.
no, we're Church of Christ. We're not denominational.
Church
we're
of
the,
Christ. Non-denominational.
we're the only ones going to heaven. We
Comes out of
can't
it,
go to
yeah.
another place.
Yeah.
Pick up the action when you talk about.
You had a very fun
Talking about
question.
Non-denominational.
No,
right?
I gotta focus. You had a very fun question. I want us all to answer. What's everybody's smash paint?
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Mac.
Focus.
Little Mac, let's go.
So it depends on the
let's say
game.
this
Are we
way.
talking about ultimate?
Well,
That's
you said
true.
Little
It does
Mac.
depend on
I'm
the
talking
game.
about ultimate
Boxer.
because it's
Yeah.
all I've
No joke.
played since
Oh, Lord,
64.
look up
All right, so
box.
Smash Ultimate. Let's start on this end.
Link. I'm a douchebag. I don't want to fight you hand to hand if I don't have to. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
space you with projectiles.
He is a bitch. With
Sensible.
that.
I'm a real bitch.
Sensible.
I'm a real bitch. But it works.
I don't really have like a main. I have like a handful. I mean, like Zero Suit is definitely one of them. The is it Young Link or Toon Link that's in that one? Or are they both in that one?
They're
I
both
know.
in that one.
Yeah.
I think it's Young Link I play a lot of.
Toon Link's really floaty. Young Link's heavier.
Sheik. Samus, normal Samus.
Yeah.
You know,
You won't have that.
just a lot of them. I
Yeah.
don't know. Peach was
Oh,
when
dude,
I
Peach.
played
Peach is
Project
S tier
M,
right now. I'm pretty sure.
but
Oh,
really?
hell
yeah. Peach
Bring
is
out the
great
onions.
in the new one.
Lil Mac.
Lil Mac.
Till I die, man.
Oh,
Lil
don't
Mac,
care about
Lil
having no
Mac,
chance.
yeah.
Go.
Yeah, one and done. Lil Mac. That's it.
I'm an Incineroar main.
Alright.
I also like playing other tanky characters like Bowser. I love Bowser.
What about
because
King
I
K. Rool?
fucking hate
King
Bowser.
K. I don't like King K. Rool as much because I forget his controls and fly off the map a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Fucking or
Neon
like do
Fox.
the like
Yeah.
slam off the side of the fucking map because I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. But I love Incineroar so much.
He plays Smash.
Oh yeah, Super Metroid was my favorite game growing up. So Samus holds a special
Nice.
place in my
Nice.
heart as
Samus,
well.
yeah.
I really like Samus. Banjo wasn't on the old ones, but I really like Banjo.
Yeah.
Alright.
Have we ever
Because
played
I
together?
grew up. No.
Play after
We
Alice leaves.
disservice in everybody. Alright.
So-
I have two that I mostly cycled through. Min Min and Zero Suit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got.
Real recognize real.
Yeah.
I'm not that good. Don't get excited.
When I'm getting serious, I'll use like Cloud and Pyramithra.
I love it when you get your ass handed to you. You're like, all right, bring out the real shit.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like to play Cloud
Yeah.
every now and again, but I'm not
Cloud's,
good.
Cloud hits so hard for how fast he is.
I fucking know.
Huh.
Like
Yeah. I can
he
see
has no business being that strong for how quick he moves.
Mm.
Which is why I use him. It's not fair.
But
Something about sword characters, man. It just feels
Yeah.
oppressive sometimes fighting them.
Yep. And then I also use Pac-Man and Wario.
You saw it, right?
Interesting.
Wario is an interesting choice.
It's also another annoying character.
Yeah,
Why?
super
Yeah.
annoying.
I don't even know Wario super well. I don't know if I've ever played him.
I played him
Alright.
once or twice and I was like, I fucking suck.
Is it getting at that
It's
time?
It's time. We've got other things to do,
Kris?
Alice.
Would you like to do the favors?
I don't know what it is. Does it have to do with this?
Oh, it should. It really should.
Jesus.
Let me see it.
Oh,
Honey Dagger, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Thank you for having
us.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us, indeed.
Alice,
It's time for
their album
smash.
Honey is available everywhere. Go listen to it immediately. And then Dagger this fall. Discord is now adjourned.